सो जब हम एसेट क्लास की बात कर रहे थे तब आपने टच किया था क्रिप्टो एंड द
Unlisted
बिटकॉइन
security,
बिटकॉइन
Bitcoin.
सो
Bitcoin is one part of it.
या सो टेल मी, अभी तो इस टाइम बिटकॉइन बहुत हॉट हुआ
Yeah,
है,
all time high.
उसका क्या रीजन है एंड हाउ डू यू लुक एट क्रिप्टो और ब्लॉकचेन और बिटकॉइन? इज बिटकॉइन अ करेंसी और इज इट एन एसेट? इसको कैसे आप सोचते हो?
This requires attention to detail
Okay.
for every investor, because again, as an asset class, blockchain is a tech stack.
Is a technology.
It's technology. It's a tech stack, and acceptance for cryptocurrency is not available with every nation.
Yeah. And not every individual.
Not every individual. Again, this requires too much detail, education, thought enrichment, understanding,
Research.
like when you invest into capital markets in India or anywhere else in the world, or any other asset class. Blockchain also, you can do that, but at the same point in time, there are certain regulations that every country has, and acceptance. Now globally, it is accepted as a currency. You can pay through Bitcoin. You can buy real estate through Bitcoin. You can trade in different cryptocurrencies available on the exchange.
Okay.
It may not happen in India or any other country or any other state, but yes, people have acceptance. They have found ways and means to buy, hold, sell, trade through exchanges available in India. That's an asset class.
Okay.
Yeah. I would not say it's just a commodity that you're buying. It's an asset class, and you need to have that acceptance and the growth. There are macro factors, there are micro factors, global headwinds, global tailwinds. How are commodities, oil, and let me not just pinpoint one. How are the stocks or the commodities or other tradable units being regulated in India and global would have direct or indirect impact on how the blockchain or the cryptocurrencies are being governed and traded.
न्यू इन्वेस्टर के लिए या एक अननोन इन्वेस्टर के लिए, ऑयल दे कैन यूज, commodities they can use, gold and silver they can keep, they can use, make it into ornaments, jewelry and everything. But क्वेश्चन ये आता है कि बिटकॉइन का करेंगे क्या? मतलब अगर हमने बिटकॉइन खरीद भी लिया तो इज इट जस्ट एयर? आप हवा खरीद रहे हो, आप एक्चुअल में फिजिकली तो कुछ आपके हाथ में आ नहीं रहा.
Correct. These are all units.
तो ये यूनिट्स आप खरीद रहे हो, तो ये इसका यूजेज है नहीं, तो फिर ये इतना बढ़ क्यों रहा है? मतलब जैसे गोल्ड बढ़ता है क्योंकि अब जैसे हमारे यहाँ पे दिवाली आई तो गोल्ड की डिमांड बढ़ जाती है, ज्वेलर्स की डिमांड बढ़ जाती है, तो गोल्ड प्राइसेस बढ़ने लग जाते हैं.
It's the same.
Okay.
Demand supply is a bedrock.
Okay.
The thumb rule for anything which can be traded.
Yeah.
It can be stock. Demand है तो supply होगा, supply है तो demand may or may not come in.
बट उसका यूज इन द सेंस के जैसे इंडिया में तो इतना इन्वेस्ट लोग नहीं करते, बट फॉरेन में पीपल इन्वेस्ट इन गुड अल्कोहल, दे विल इन्वेस्ट इन गुड वाइन, दे विल इन्वेस्ट इन आर्ट. तो एटलीस्ट यू गेट समथिंग. ठीक है, उसका कोई यूज है कि आपने एक अच्छे पेंटर की आर्ट खरीद लिया एंड फ्यूचर में कोई आएगा वो आपसे उसको प्रीमियम में लेके जाएगा. वाइन है, जितनी पुरानी होती जाएगी उतना उसके प्राइस बढ़ते जाएंगे. बट बिटकॉइन का अभी भी समझ नहीं आ रहा कि बिटकॉइन की डिमांड क्यों है, किस लिए है? इज इट ओनली फोमो? क्योंकि एक तरफ तो लोग बात करते हैं कि बिल्कुल स्कैम है और वो $0 हो जाएगा. एक तरफ कल मुझे कोई कह रहा था बाय 2040 इट विल टच $1 मिलियन. तो मतलब इतना ज्यादा गैप है कि एक इन्वेस्टर के लिए समझना बड़ा मुश्किल हो जाता है कि
See, I'm not a Bitcoin or a blockchain guru, but at the same point in time, with little allocation and whatever info that I have, my perspective is it's still intangible,
Uh-huh.
which is being mined, which is limited in quantity, being traded, and has a value.
Okay.
Unlike other asset classes, which, like what you mentioned, art, music, uh, gold, silver, platinum, other asset classes that you can touch, feel, buy, hold, and wait for the value to rise.
अगर आपको चॉइस मिले, would you rather buy gold or would you rather buy Bitcoin?
The natural impulse answer, I would want to invest into gold.
Okay.
And I do.
Okay.
There are means and ways you can invest digitally,
Yeah.
which I do, which is called gold SIP
Yeah.
to educate investors, or silver SIP.
There are ETFs now. There are so many
You
things.
you have gold ETFs
Yeah.
you can have that you can buy in your dematted or non-demat form, gold SIP directly, and you can buy physical gold always. As an investor, I also realize that investing into Bitcoin becomes important, not necessary, but at the same point in time, the acceptance in India is low than other countries, and taxation, that's very critical. There is huge taxation in India when you realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
vis-a-vis globally.
I think government भी अभी discourage ही कर रही है. I think it is still in the gray area. It is.
Yeah, it's not discouraging, but yeah, too much of laws
Taxation.
and regulation and taxation when you talk about acceptance of cryptocurrencies in India. Yes.
And it's legal to invest in crypto.
Yeah, through exchanges that you have. Yes. Do your proper KYC. Yes.
एक और क्वेश्चन जो आता है, would you rather invest in stock market or real estate?
Impulse answer, yes. I would rather invest into stock market first, make some money, because it has to be wise and prudent and well research decision, and then invest into real estate.
मैं हर किसी से ये क्वेश्चन पूछता हूँ. I want to know your answer also. मैं आपको आज 10 करोड़ रुपए देता हूँ. आज आप एक ही चीज ले सकते हो. Would you buy real estate or would you buy stock exchange?
I would buy real estate.
जब तक हम हजारों में बातें कर रहे हैं, जब तक हम लाखों में बातें कर रहे हैं, people are okay investing in stock market, mutual funds.
See, it's conviction. Investing into any asset class available in the country on platter is conviction first, and then the decision.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying I'm less. I have less conviction in capital markets, or I have less conviction in real estate or any other asset class. It's just what is required, because there is huge quantum involved. Everybody wants to ensure that the money that you're investing does not go in vain.
Yeah, I agree.
And 10 crores, like you mentioned, is a huge amount.
It's a huge amount.
And investing into real estate is not going out anywhere, because when you buy whether it is a land, or whether it is a commercial, or whether it is a residential, whether it is a builder floor, whether it is a high rise,
कुछ भी ले लो.
it will have some value and it will appreciate with time.
Also, I want to touch upon one more thing. I read that you have been a TEDx speaker.
Yeah.
So tell me, वो journey कैसी थी? वो experience कैसा था?
It all started with a company called EdExcursion.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm naming it on air because Prashant Nagpal introduced me to Assam Valley School.
Acha.
Yeah. And I always believed one of the skill that I had is impart factual information. I'm not a trainer. I'm a speaker.
Okay.
And you can only become a speaker, in my sense, is when you know your product.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know your product, you may become a good salesperson. You know your product, you can speak about it.
Yeah.
Polishing your skills is a byproduct of it. So I always thought that I can add value to people and their lives by telling them about things that usually no book, no MBA teaches. And there was no topic given to me. It was leveraging people and technology.
Okay, leveraging people and technology.
That's something that I felt that I should be talking about it, because that's how my life has been. I have spent decade with hospitality, travel retail, e-commerce, non-banking, and then having a company of my own. And all this pivot happened with a very strong conviction. So I attained Ikigai, the purpose of you being alive, very soon.
Okay.
It's very clear what I need to do. what I need to achieve.
Yeah.
And in this journey of TED Talk and TEDx that I did, it was completely the same.
Okay.
I talked about myself. I talked about demography. I talked about how you can be the demographic dividend rather being demographic disaster. Because, see, life is uncertain. You need to take those decisions about yourself,
Bold
about
bets.
bold bets about you and your family and people attached to it. You know, you're not just a lone man walking on the street and doing what you want. At certain point in time, there will be less responsibilities, there will be liabilities, and you need to deal with it.
Yeah.
You know, so I just spoke about my entire journey, what I had,
So
what I faced.
how was the experience?
The experience was enriching, and I felt good about it. And in speaking terms, you know your product, or you know about you know about yourself. It's just telling the world that this is how to be done.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you, Deep ji. बहुत मजा आया.
No, thank you
बहुत
very
कुछ
much.
सीखने को मिला.
Thank you very much for having me here on the podcast.
नहीं, it was my pleasure, sir. बहुत कुछ सीखने को मिला, and like you said, we should do this again sometime.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.